So this topic that I have chosen tonight, existentialism from Dostoevsky to Sartre, including Nietzsche as well, is my arbitrary choice. I've only chosen these three philosophers as the main representatives of existential thoughts, although there are many other philosophers, great philosophers, but I couldn't have just put them all together tonight because of the scope of this event. So the three that I'm going to be talking about are going to be Dostoevsky, Nietzsche, and Sartre. But this is also important to mention that there are other philosophers, as I said. For example, Tolstoy is a great existential philosopher. Also Camus, then Schopenhauer. These are all existential philosophers because they are all dealing with the issue of existence. And also Heidegger and his famous motto, his famous credo, what it means to be. So it's always about that existence, what it means to be. But this time I'm going to narrow the choice to these three giants of philosophy. And I also wanted to link this lecture tonight as much as possible to things that are relevant to us, moderns. So what is it that makes existentialism so attractive to us now, so important actually? And I personally believe that it's very, very important, and you will see why I think this way. First of all, I want to talk about something that I find not really understood properly and also incorporated and put in action today. And this is personal integrity, which is unavoidable from personal responsibility. So we live in the world of liberal democracy when the freedom and allowance of everything is there on the plate for us, but most of us forget that this is also coming together with personal responsibility. Funny enough, nobody talks about that, because if you're a party leader and you talk about personal responsibility, most likely nobody will vote for you. But we're going to talk about it tonight, because nobody has to vote for me anyway, so I don't care. Existentialism sees personal integrity not as a moral luxury, but as the core of what it means to be a human being. So without integrity, none of these three great philosophers saw a real human being in existence. So integrity is absolutely essential, right? Now there are different views. I'm going to start just with the announcements of few views from Sartre, Dostoevsky, and Nietzsche. For example, for Sartre, integrity means owning your own freedom. And Sartre famously says, we are condemned to be free. So we are free, therefore we have to make choices. And those choices are automatically attached to responsibilities. I will go deeper into this explanation of Sartre's famous credo, we are condemned to be free. When it comes to us, why is that so important? You have probably, everybody has heard from many people around you saying the following: oh, I didn't make it because it wasn't me, it was up to the society. Oh, it was my family. Oh, it was my culture. Oh, it was the history. Oh, it's genetics. But in all the time, there is somebody else's case. Sartre would just see this as a very poor excuse into something that he calls bad faith. And bad faith is living the life which is not actually you, but is something else. For Nietzsche, integrity means creating your own values. Nietzsche was the biggest critic of Christianity and religion in general. So creating your own values means that you should stop being seduced and misled with imposition of external evaluation. Whatever that is, and from whoever that comes, either another individual, religion, ideology, state, because you can be deceived quickly. If you don't have your own views and if you don't create your own values, you're going to get into the trap of fragmentation and emptiness. And you're going to be easy target, especially for ideologies. So interesting enough, Nietzsche saw that as the biggest problem of the coming century. Nietzsche writes in the end of 19th century. So he saw that the 20th century will bring catastrophes like humanity never seen before. I mean, we always say prophets, Mohammed, Jesus, and others. But nobody has seen future as clearly as Nietzsche did. And what did he see? He saw that individuals, they don't have integrity, personal integrity. And therefore, they're going to be easily manipulated, deceived, and used, and ultimately abused. And this is exactly what happened in the 20th century. 2 world wars, like humanity never seen before, masses of humanity on both sides. You have different ideologies. You have, for example, in the Second World War, you have a national socialism on one side, with millions of people approve. They are deceived by the national socialism, and they're going to die for it. Why? Because ideology has created their values. They didn't have integrity. They didn't create their own values, as Nietzsche was suggesting it should be done. On the other side, you have communism. Again, the same story, just a different color. Again, millions of people just thrown into that, into chaos, because they're defending ideology. Why? Because they don't have personal integrity. So, as we all know, there is no such a thing as a nation, right? It's a concept. There is no such a thing as a British army. It's a concept. Nation is made, this one here, of 60 million individuals. Army is made of 50,000 soldiers, etc., etc. So you see how everything comes down to the individual. So you cannot just talk about some, metaphysical, abstract concept and decide about individuals. It's the other way around. For Nietzsche, individuals are the ones who were supposed to create their own integrity and their own values, and that way managed to avoid being deceived into the catastrophe. Beautiful prophecy. So integrity means not lying to yourself, not using morality as a disguise for weakness, living with a unity with your character. And modern life, unfortunately, encourages conformity, comfort, resentment, victimhood, avoiding discomfort, and blaming the world for one's fate. And all this luxury of being misled, never to develop your own integrity, actually leads to that ideological manipulation. So we are all, or at least most of us, very much prone to that. Now, for Dostoevsky, integrity is bearing the weight of freedom. So what is freedom for Dostoevsky? Freedom is to decide in the world of chaos, in the world of exploitation, in the world of inequality, poverty, is to decide that something is right, and then you have to act in that way. But acting in the world of chaos, in the world of corruption, in the world of evil, acting is going to make you pay the big price for that. And he beautifully explains that, especially in his novel Crime and Punishment, when Raskolnikov decides to take justice in his own hands, and he does a just thing, but is actually a criminal act. And for that reason, Raskolnikov has no other option but at the end of the novel to actually admit what he has done, and through faith and God find repentance and actually find peace. So for Dostoevsky, people are lost in their choices. Anxiety comes from lack of direction, and also the search of meaning outside oneself. So what integrity can bring to modern people? What can we expect from integrity? First of all, integrity gives inner stability. You know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you are not manipulated by trends or ideologies. So that inner stability is critical for authenticity. You will see in a bit what Sartre says about it. Also, integrity eliminates self-conflict. People without integrity are fractured. There is a collision of different parts of oneself. There's a constant fight inside. Should I do this? Should I do that? But I feel this way. Maybe I should do the other way. Or maybe I'm feeling wrong. So that confusion, that self-blame is actually eliminated with strong integrity. Integrity also creates self-respect, as it's very common in modern world. People have very low self-confidence and self-esteem, and that comes from lack of integrity. Integrity gives direction in life. It removes confusion, paralysis, indecisions. Also, integrity builds stronger relationships, because when you have integrity, people are more likely to be with you. They want to be with you because they know who they are with. They know that you are what they see. Integrity attracts. It's like a magnet. So relationships usually fracture when integrity is lost, or maybe never been there in the first place. Also, integrity protects you from manipulation. If you have integrity, as all three thinkers have agreed, you are able to decide about your own values, you're forming your own character, and therefore it's not going to be easy to manipulate you. And we live in the world of manipulation. Just look at the marketing, look at the media, trends, fashion, even politics. Wherever you look, pressure for achievement, outside judgments, all these factors actually put modern individual in a very difficult position. So modern people, we are the ones who actually need integrity more than at any other state of development of civilization.